Munif, bro, welcome to Mancave Talk.
Mancave Talk.
Mancave Talk. This is where we're talking life, marriage, business, and I mainly speak to real estate investors, right? This is what we're doing here. And so you're a real estate investor, you're an entrepreneur, you came from the 9 to 5 world.
Yep.
Like, talk to me about that. What made you want to become an entrepreneur, a real estate investor?
Well, first of all, I'm really stoked to be on your podcast. For those listening, man, you and I go way back.
Oh,
You were one of
yeah.
my first mentors in the industry. Before anybody knew who I was, before I could talk to sellers on the phone, before I knew how to have a phone call, before I did my first deal, you were there with me on the come up. You were the person I actually looked up to in these the daily dials, the role play coaching sessions you would run for us. So thank you for everything you've done.
Absolutely, man.
The reason, to answer your question, the reason I wanted to become an entrepreneur is because, man, I had a decent paying job. I was making 6 figures a year as a salaried W-2 employee.
Mm-hmm. Cybersecurity, right?
Cybersecurity. Same
Yeah,
as you.
we were cybersecurity guys.
Yep. And I remember wanting to, I don't even remember what it was. I don't even remember what I wanted to buy, but I remember going, oh, I want to buy this thing. How do I buy this thing?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, okay, there's either 2 ways to buy it. I can either finance it, meaning I have to put on a credit card or get a loan for it,
Mm-hmm.
buy it, but then I have all this debt that I have to pay to own this thing, or I can save up for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt so limiting
Yeah.
because I made a certain amount of money every month, and that was that. And so I had to budget, and I hated budgeting. I hated being like, oh, I can't get coffee. I can't. Well, I gotta cook this weekend because I hate the concept of budgeting. Was so, it felt like, okay, my time isn't measured, or my value in this world isn't measured in anything but my time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like, because 6 months of saving would mean I deserve to get the new PlayStation or vacation, or oh, I can afford this after 18 months of saving. And just like thinking of my life in that term really screwed with me, my psychology. It messed with my psyche. Like, that's what I am. Like, I'm just time, like, this much time has to pass for me to be able to have what I want, really.
Wow.
And so when I started thinking of it like that, it really messed with me. And I'm like, there's got to be another way. So I remember reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. That book changed my life.
Yeah, that book has changed so many people's lives. It's unbelievable. And what was the thing that stood out to you in Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Assets and liabilities.
Assets and liabilities.
Yep.
And for the person who does not understand what an asset and what a liability is, what's a quick 10-second rundown of what an asset is and what a liability is?
Assets make you money. Liabilities lose you money.
Make you lose money.
Yep.
Cool.
That's not really quote unquote how it works in accounting.
Yeah.
But that's how it works when it really matters.
Yeah.
And I did an audit, and I was like, what in my life is making me? There are things that make people money.
Yeah.
Like me going to work makes me money, but everything's a liability. My home costs me money. My car costs me. Everything I have is a liability. None of these things make me money. All of these things have payments.
Dude, what you just shared makes so much sense. And I never really thought about it that way, where you got to save up for something.
Yeah.
Right. And
Horrible.
I have not thought in this type of way in years, in so many years. And we'll get to how we think later on. But you're talking, and I'm like, I totally forgot. I used to have to save up to get something. And what's actually happening is you have to work, spend time.
Yep.
And your money is based on the amount of time that you spend working to be able to buy that thing.
Yeah.
And so every hour you worked for is adding up
Oh yeah.
to buying this thing. And this is why they call it trading time for money.
It is, and it that's what it is hourly. But remember, like, think about back when you were a W-2 and you wanted to buy something big, something that could actually impact. I'm not talking about, you know, a weekend out. I'm not talking about groceries. I'm talking about you want a nice thing. You want a new car. Say a car, right?
Take you years.
You have to really be like, well, by what age?
Yeah.
Can I afford this?
Dang.
And that's not how we think anymore.
Yeah.
Now,
and just to be clear to the 9-to-5ers who's looking at this and aspiring entrepreneurs, like we get it, we understand, but there are other ways to think, and so
it's we're laughing because we're not laughing at anybody but ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we're laughing at our past selves. We used to think that this was reality.
Yes.
And now we're out of that, and we're like, we just think that even if we're broke, I remember like not long ago, I had invested all my money in a project. Some of those projects did not do well. We were underwater. Yeah, this is business. This is business. I had no money, and I wanted to buy something. And it wasn't, I'm going to need to wait 18 months. It was, how do I increase my current income?
Oh my gosh, bro. I need to do a deal.
Yeah.
I need a deal.
There was a time where I was doing something and I put all my life savings into a specific business model. Mm-hmm. That business model was not working. It was just not working. And I should have ended that business way sooner than I did. Yeah. But there was a lot of, relationships, business partners, people that I just had a hard time cutting it. Mm-hmm. And so by the time I realized, whoa, this business, I've dumped so much of my time and money into this, and this is not working. Mm-hmm. This is bad, and we have no money. Yeah. Right? So I remember Love and I literally whiteboarded it, and we were like, oh man, we don't have any money. I mean, if you put all your money into this, you put all your time into this, what do we do? Well, Love was doing her TC thing, and she was growing that, and I was in the negatives because I was putting all my money into this one egg that wasn't working.
And Love is his wife,
Love
by
is
the
my
way.
wife.
Yep. That's her name, Love.
Her name is literally Love.
Yeah.
She's an amazing
person. Amazing.
And I remember we were like, oh, Munif, you have to stop doing this business and just do more deals. And then in 6 weeks, our entire financial situation changed. It was like, oh, we can't do this anymore. What brings us money? This brings us money. Okay, we have to do a lot of these. And in 6 weeks, we had money coming in to our bank account. So
let's back up a little bit because you are just coming from cybersecurity. Mm-hmm. That shift that happened from reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what was your transition into actually living it? Because what we're talking about right now is that person who got the mindset of an entrepreneur, right? So you're coming from a 9-to-5 world. Right. What was that transition like?
It was horrible. It's a horrible transition. And I don't want to sugarcoat it. Yeah. It's just like you have to become a different person. And where on earth, why would that ever be easy? Why would that ever be a good feeling? Like, for example, from being a woman to a mother, you have to go through a transformation. You have to become a different person. Yeah. I don't, and I'm sure there are people who have easy pregnancies, but I don't think it's right for anyone to say pregnancy's easy, giving birth is easy. Right. And I've never done it. I've seen my wife go through it, and she loved her pregnancy, and she went through some
gracefully.
Yeah, gracefully. Yeah. And her body changed. It was tough. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. Similarly, being an entrepreneur, shedding your old self, man, and rewiring your circuitry, rewiring your friend group, your habits. Wow. How you talk to yourself, how you think about yourself, because you have to go when you make money as a W-2, you're like, hey, I'm not a millionaire yet, but at least I'm worth this much. Mm-hmm. At least I can do this much. Yeah. And you take the free fall of going broke, you do go backward. You do go, I have nothing. I'm getting rejected at every phone call. I'm getting rejected. I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is going to work. I've lost relationships because of this.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost how I've felt about myself. I've lost part of my identity
Mm-hmm.
to maybe achieve this dream that might happen. It sucks. It's not fun.
What were some of the habits and things that you needed to learn to cross over? And I could tell you one, because that's how we met for the first time.
Yeah.
Sales.
Yep.
Sales was one of those major things that, in coming over from a 9-to-5er to being an entrepreneur, that was a real shocker for me. It was like, I didn't know this was actually a thing. It was a topic. It was a skill set that you needed to learn. I just thought you just talk to people and you say, buy this thing from me and you make money. But that's not the case.
No, not at all. It's the Rich Dad Poor Dad book talks about sales. Talks about how it's like everyone needs to know how to do sales if they want to make money. I was like you. I used to think that sales was something. I mean, salespeople were just glorified, maybe attendants.
Yeah.
And I
oh my gosh, dude.
Right?
Yeah. I laughed at them. I laughed at people that made money on
It
commission.
didn't make sense to me why anyone would do that. Until now, as a skill, it's like, why would you do anything else? Like, why would you not do, if I had to take any job, it would be a commission only job.
Bro, that was such a mindset shift for me, that commission only jobs are the best jobs. And here's the reason why, for anyone that's listening right now. When you work on commission only jobs, you're working based on the work you do.
Yep.
Your skill. If you don't have skill or able to do the thing, then you don't get paid.
Yeah.
What we've gotten used to as 9-to-5ers is that we're like, regardless of if my boss or anyone is there or not, you get paid regardless of the work that you do. And we've gotten so used to that, bro.
Do you remember as in a 9-to-5 when it was slow? I loved it.
You loved it.
I loved it.
It was great.
It was great. If you're in sales or you're an entrepreneur and it's slow, you are sweating.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. It's like that's why it's a shift, right? So like when I have free time in a W-2, I can be more unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be present. I can scroll. I can watch YouTube. I can just check out a little bit, and it's fun. It's nice.
Yeah,
to do those
you
things.
actually look forward to those days.
Oh, those are great days.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got paid to check. Like, just
Yeah.
check out.
Yeah.
That's great. The hard days are fulfilling in a different way in a WC. Like when you really get a project done, like it feels good, but you don't want every day to be like that.
Yeah.
When you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, or you're in sales, those are the best days.
Yeah.
Hard days are really good. I mean, when you work your butt off and you get a deal, like it's the best feeling in the world. Because
you get to buy the thing that you want to buy with one deal.
Yes. That's
right.
Those checks are big. Like, man, the skill I really had to learn, man, that is not necessarily like a technical skill. Like sales is technical.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of soft skills, but it's a skill. The biggest skill I had to learn was who I surround myself with.
Wow. Talk about your environment a little bit.
I went from W-2. I was a W-2 employee. I had friends. I like close friends, and then I had a lot of acquaintances that I would party with or just hang out with because that's what you did.
Yeah.
What didn't necessarily? I mean, they were great. Actually, they were good people.
They
weren't bad people.
Yeah.
But they were just acquaintances who everyone was just kind of coasting. Everyone, I mean, people had goals, but they were like, yeah, by age 50, I'm gonna be, retired or what. No offense to like their goals.
Yeah.
I'm not minimizing or downplaying anyone's goals and upplaying mine, but nobody was driven. Like I see, like when I go to meet entrepreneurs who are killing it, there's like a fire.
Oh yeah.
Like they're a different breed of people.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, right? So that was my environment. Just partying on weekends. Like when things were slow and I had time, I would like to check out, just hang out, just coast.
Mm-hmm.
Before I met the friends I have now, like we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
We might see each other once a year,
Mm-hmm.
but like the love I have for you,
Yeah.
and the fact that I can pick up the phone and call you and be like, I'm dealing with I got $2 million in this deal,
Yeah.
and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no one else besides you or another entrepreneur who's gonna really understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a time before I made friends like you where I was alone. I had friends, but I was purposely not seeking them out, doing the same behaviors. I was either learning from people I wanted to be friends with, like you, or talking to customers. That's all I was doing, nonstop. That was hard. That wasn't fun. Not like I'm more established now. It's easier now, right?
Yeah.
But changing from W-2 to entrepreneurship, that was hard. It's a hard process.
It's not a overnight process.
Yeah.
And I think you've given one of the biggest gems is putting yourself in the right environment.
Yeah.
Putting yourself and finding those people that could actually help you to where you want to go or encourage you in the days that will come that you're going to need help.
It's
right?
important.
It's so important because the minute that you don't have that support, that other mind is going to start telling you, see, I told you couldn't do this.
It is so true, man. Can I share a story with you?
Please.
There is a gentleman, we're going to call him John.
Yeah.
And he's an entrepreneur. He's very successful. He's syndicated a lot of multifamilies. He's very liquid. He's got businesses. He's doing great. Now, he recently bought a few more deals than he could chew in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And his goal with buying those deals was selling them on owner finance and being the bank. So he bought real estate and he wanted to sell all of them on owner finance and make passive income. That was his goal. So John, what he doesn't realize is selling houses on owner finance is very involved and it's really difficult. And he bought too many. He bought way more than he could chew. And I don't remember how many houses exactly, but he had debt on them. So he was paying them mortgage
Monthly.
every month,
Yeah.
mortgage. He was spending $15,000 a month. And this was going on for months. And his houses weren't selling. No one would buy these houses.
Wow.
And he goes, man, he called me about something else and just for business, but he mentioned that. And I go, wait, what's going on? What do you mean $15,000 a month? I don't really know John. We're not really friends like that.
Yeah.
But I was curious. And he tells me what happened. I go, bro, I get it. You want to sell these houses on owner finance. Every single month, you're spending $15,000. Why didn't you put a tenant in there? He goes, well, because my mortgage is higher than what I get for rent. I'd probably lose $200-300 a month. I go, bro, you're spending $2,500 a month on each house.
Yeah.
What if you spent $200 a month on each house and just say, hey, you know what? Maybe these won't sell right now.
Right.
I'll just hold them for a year. Are you okay with spending $200 a property?
Wow.
Then $2,500, then 10x what you're currently doing? And he goes, oh my God, man, I got so sucked into this, and I was trying to figure out, I don't even know how to feed where our next like grocery bill is gonna get paid. Like we were like, I wasn't trying to feed my family. Like this was really diving into my cash reserves, like our savings. And like I make enough income, but now I'm like spending way more money on this, and like I wasn't sure. There was a lot of emotions that was going on. And I helped break it down for him very logically.
Yeah.
Can you afford, like, if you actually rent all these out, you're only paying what adds up to one empty house's mortgage. Right? Yeah. And it clicked. Like, he was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And it's like, I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm so glad I talked to him because it's so obvious for me. It's so easy for me.
Yeah, on the
In
outside.
5 minutes, I'm like, this guy's been dealing with this for months. He was scared. He was like, he was losing sleep. He was getting stressed out. And in like 5 minutes, I was like, oh yeah, like think about it differently.
Yeah.
And he did. And he thanked me. He like called me later. He thanked me. He's like, I'm so happy I talked to you. It is important. If he was taking that problem to a different group of friends, first of all, if somebody back when you were a W-2 and they're like, I'm losing 15 grand a month, you would not know how to comprehend.
You don't even understand. you don't even like, what does that even look like?
Yeah.
15 grand a month.
Exactly.
Bruh.
And to then being, being able to be like, oh yeah, here's what you do.
Yeah.
And then help a peer solve a real problem.
Yeah.
Well, you got to level up your environment.
Oh my God. And just to be able to have those types of conversations, what a blessing.
What a blessing.
What a blessing. And I know to a lot of people who are probably listening, you may not be at this point yet. And these are real things that happen. Right? Like this business is amazing, but there are seasons in businesses where you go through the ebb, like you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. Like that's just what it is, and you get to a sustained place at some point. But as an entrepreneur, you try new things, you do new things, you test new things, and especially being on the newer side, there could be some times where you make a bad investment.
Oh yeah.
And having the right person to call is the most important thing that you could have for yourself, whether it's a mentor or just having friends. And so you've done pretty well in real estate. You're doing your thing. Now, I like to talk about the different pillars of a being, of any one person, right? So you got business. We touched on mindset to some degree because you had to shift your mindset from being a 9-to-5er to being an entrepreneur.
Right.
But on your journey, bro, you got married.
I did.
You got how did life change for you as an entrepreneur? As a man, period, because it's not only being an entrepreneur, you got married.
Yes.
How did life change for you?
Well, fortunately, so funny enough, when I was trying to make things work, I was dating the wrong people.
Oof. What do you mean by that?
I was dating people who were either in W-2s.
Oh my God.
Or worked part-time or whatever that was.
Why were they the wrong person?
Because I aspire to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have been dating entrepreneurs or other people who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs.
Man.
And I was made feel guilty for the work that was required to be successful in following my dreams. And fortunately, I met Love, who's my now wife, who is also an entrepreneur. Who at the time I met her was also an entrepreneur who was also trying to figure it out. Same story, worked W-2, worked crazy hours, didn't want it, wanted something better. So marriage has made my life better in every category.
Wow.
In every metric you can measure, my life is better, not worse. In every single measurement. So I'm here. My wife was here earlier with the baby.
Yep.
She's going home with the baby to help me pack my stuff so I can go to Pensacola. I was going to have to do that myself. She's packing my stuff. She's like washing, drying, packing, getting my stuff ready so I can go. And then she's going to watch the baby tonight. Me and my dad are going to go to Pensacola because I've got business there. But here's the flip side. She's an entrepreneur. So I do similar things for her in her business that she does for mine. Like when she's like, I got to fly to Arizona to talk. When she's like, I got to talk to 100 people, I'm playing the support role. Yeah. Because I get it. Yeah. So I think people should marry entrepreneurs. I think it's really important. If you're an entrepreneur.
Is so good what you're sharing right now, because so many times I see 9-to-5ers try to date businessmen. because they want the money, right? They want that lifestyle and they want businessmen, but they don't understand a business lifestyle, an entrepreneur's lifestyle. And so while they work 9 to 5, they want to spend time with their man from 6 till whatever, but he's still working until right? And it's a total mismatch because the understanding just isn't there. And some people would put up with it for a period of time, but then they'll give up because they'll say this person doesn't care. And then they will try to force and guilt that person into quitting their dreams.
Yep. 100%.
And so it's really amazing that you found someone in a similar space. And so what is doing business like? Because Jazz and I, we do business together in all of our business we do together. And we had to go through a learning curve as to what that looks like. What was that for you guys?
Fortunately, we had our own businesses and we had our own niches, and our businesses are complementary.
It complemented.
So we just add those things to each other's business. So I started adding sales and marketing to her business.
Yeah.
And things started changing.
Yeah.
Like
big time.
Big time. Like I don't want her on sales calls. Like she'll do them, but like I do them with aggression. Like I'll do sales, like, because sales needs a certain amount of aggression. And when people watch me, they go, "Man, you're not aggressive on the phone." No, my aggression is different.
Yeah.
It's not overt aggression.
Yeah.
I'm very aggressive. It's just I do it in a relaxed way where me being aggressive is asking the
right
prospect.
questions.
I ask very direct questions, very naturally and casually, where they're like, they're like, "Oh man!" By the end of the call, they should feel like an idiot. If they're qualified, if we can really help them, they should feel like an idiot for not going with us. That's me being aggressive. Versus Love's tactic is usually, "Hey, this is what I do." She's more service oriented. This is what I do. This is what we're about. We can help you.
Features and benefits.
We can help you, but someone else can help you. Like we're cool. We're the best.
Yeah.
When I talk to, I'm like, we're the best. If you need a TC, use us. But if you don't need a TC, don't hire any. But if you're gonna hire a TC, we should hire.
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
So just adding that, it probably 5x revenue.
Wow.
Just going after leads in the TC business.
Yeah.
Leads, like people will text Love like so much. They'll fill up her inbox and she'll, whoever she happens to connect with, she'll talk, she'll connect with them, she'll build a really good relationship, and then they might do a deal with her, use her as a TC.
Yeah.
I go leads. I cold call the leads.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, you still need a
Sales.
TC?"
Yeah.
It just changed dramatically, right? And marketing, right? I proactively ask people to write a Facebook post about Love's business, and then when people are like, "Who's Love?" I'm in the comments.
Yeah.
Right? It's like stuff I do in my sleep.
Yeah.
That just really help business, and vice versa. When I had to hire people. She's so good at that. Hiring, training, keeping them accountable.
Wow.
I suck at that stuff.
Yeah.
She's so good because she had to do that for her business. So working with her now, is it all rainbows and butterflies? No, it's not.
Right.
Because there's a little bit about like, "Hey, this is my baby. Back off." So when she's coming in and talking about wholesaling, I'm like, "Well, actually, that's not how you do sales. Like that's not how you," or I'll go in and I'll be like, "Well, we got to do sales this way. We got to sell." She's like, no, that's not how I sell stuff.
Yeah.
So there definitely is conflict. Yeah. I'm just saying it helps when you're not doing the same stuff.
For sure.
Complementary roles.
For sure. How do you guys deal with business conflict and marriage? Because it's not like you get to say, "I'm leaving. I'm going to see you tomorrow at 9 to 5, right? And you leave because you walk out your office and it's like, "Hi, wife," right?
Yeah.
What's that switch like?
There's no real switch because you're people. We're both humans. So if she does something where I'm about to make a sale and she interrupts me in the middle of that moment, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
And I can't just totally turn into husband mode right away. Or like I am doing a sale and then I say something that, you know, she like, let's say I'm doing a sale, or I'm doing, I do like a lot of client success.
Yeah.
And if I go, oh, no, oh, we'll take care of it. Oh, we'll take care of it. Oh, we did that. I'm so sorry. I'll find who did that, and I'll give them a good talking to. Right. Sales aspect. Am I really gonna go choose someone out on our team?
Right.
No. I'm gonna have a conversation with them.
Right.
I'm gonna say that to make the customer feel heard and validated.
Absolutely.
And if Love hears me say that, she might go, hey, what do you mean you're gonna give my team a talking to? What do you mean? No. You gotta put some respect on my team people, right? So these are natural conflicts that can happen. I'm like, baby, I'm just doing sales. I'm just making the customer feel like we're really gonna take this seriously. I didn't mean to offend, but it's part of life.
Yeah.
It's part of marriage, it's part of business. You're gonna step on people's toes. The way we transition is we still look out for each other even if we're mad. So like, I pissed off Love last night. I said something stupid that was completely idiotic. This morning, guess what? She still made me a cup of coffee.
Yep.
Put it on my bed.
Yep.
Gave me a kiss. Like, I love you, baby. Like, that doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
If I'm mad at her, I still do the things I would do for her. I still, if I could be mad at her, because as a husband to a wife, I'm still going to make the sales call for the business.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you still got like,
and that takes a level of maturity.
Of course.
Yeah.
And look, you gotta being a parent. You gotta your kid's pissing you off. You can't chuck them out the window.
Yeah.
You gotta still change the diaper. You gotta still cradle them. You can
right.
And you can be like that. Like, you can be upset at your spouse, and you still need to do your husband duties. You still need to do your wife duties, and part of those duties is unconditional love. That's part of those duties.
Do you guys take the time to separate business and marriage? So like, intentionally spend time with Love, your wife? And, and what does that look like? When is there a cutoff time where it's like intentional? Like, what does intentional time together look like?
It's funny because some of the best time we do spend together is building the business, because it's fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you and me are talking, we're hanging out as friends, we're gonna talk shop. We're gonna be like, oh man, I just had this idea. Oh man, oh, guess what, dude? Guess what? That is us spending time as
for sure.
Now, I think what the challenge is sometimes is there's like problem solving, or like, oh man, like, we're figuring this out, and it's not pretty sometimes when you're hashing like, okay, who does what? What's your role? I don't agree with this. Okay, I don't agree with this. You got to take a break from that stuff. Yeah. You got to be like, all right, let's like table this and let's like talk about. And so if we're like, hey, let's cut off at 6 p.m., but at 7 p.m., one of us wants to like be like, hey, I had this new vision of a thing. It's actually worse for me as a husband. Like, turn that out of your brain off, honey. No, right now we're watching Up. Yeah. We're watching, like, no, we're gonna. So we just relate to each. Like, if we're watching a TV show, we're gonna enjoy that. If we're having dinner, we're gonna enjoy that. And if we talk about business, we're gonna talk about business. But if there's a disagreement or something we can't figure out, we don't have to keep rehashing that problem. That will get solved. It'll just probably get solved later. Right. It doesn't have to get solved right this second. Right. It's cool to not be in alignment with every little thing in the business or in marriage to coexist with somebody. Yeah.
And I'll ask this final question before I know we got to run. And how does it, and it's not like you're going to know the difference in what I'm about to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Sure. How does it affect your intimacy? Because, and this is what I mean by you're not going to know the difference, because y'all didn't have a different lifestyle together before getting married. Oh, yeah. Right? So when you start business, does it affect it? Does it go up? Did it go down? Because y'all are like best friends building a business. And so now it's like, man, I can't wait to jump on this guy. Right? Or is it like, I'm so tired and I'm so stressed out, I just need time to woosah. How does it?
So we both have things that are just for us. So like, she's got like, she loves like when she loves getting her hair done, and it takes like 4 or 5 hours to do her hair because of the way they do her hair. And I used to be like, let me drive you there, let me hang out with you there. And she's like, nah, like I want to just, that's like me. Like I just have a flow. I get in the car.
Yeah.
I get my hair done. I'll get like coffee. I'll get McDonald's. Like I'll just like, that's like me time. And she'll get her nails done. It's like me time. And she'll do things like she has gym time. She likes to go to gym a certain time of the day and just knock it out. And that's me time.
Yeah.
I also have me time. I wake up every morning on every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's Dungeons and Dragons with my friends. That's me time. And she respects that.
Yeah.
Like she sees me doing that. She leaves me alone. I'm like laughing. I'm vibing. She might be doing other stuff. She might be doing laundry, chores. That's me time.
Yeah.
And vice versa. When she's getting her hair done, I'm with the baby. So we respect that me time.
Yeah.
So I think like when we're stressed or we're like, man, I need some me time, we give each other that.
You got that.
So, but we're also in love. We're also attracted to each other. We also like each other and love each other. And so we, you know, the business doesn't affect our intimacy in a negative way.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't know because if we were both 9-to-5ers and we were doing it, but I think as a business owner, we work the craziest hours because you're always on call, but sometimes you have time.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're just like, I got nothing to do today. Like I got a lot of stuff in these days, but today I'm like, and so, you know, we'll make the most of those days and just have a fun outing or go on a nice date. So yeah.
For Jazz and I, we're like really random, and because we have our own business, and and we make it fun. I'll be like, you know, meet me in the closet. This is some kind of random crap, like because we work at home.
Yep.
Like, how do you spice your life up doing business together? And she's like, you're a weirdo. I'm like, you do? Right? Like, just to make it fun.
Yeah.
You know, and so some random time during the day when I'm supposed to be working, I'm like, and sometimes I have to be very careful because when I'm in flow and she's on and needs it, do I say I'm in the middle of something?
No, you don't.
I can't.
No, you don't.
Not in that moment.
No, you don't. Yeah, I used to.
Yeah.
And then I realized, wait a minute, when I want something, and she's in like, so when I talked about duties for like husband, like even if you're mad, you're upset. Like we've been mad at each other, and then there have been times where like
you just need
I just need it, and like it's okay. Like it's okay to be like, hey, you know what? Like part of being married is this body that I have is also belongs to my wife.
Yeah.
And like, and I guess what? I can stop what I'm doing. I can get myself in the in the mood, in the atmosphere. It takes a few minutes to just really get like in that mindset. Yeah. And I'm gonna have a great time. I'm gonna have a great time.
You might as well enjoy the ride.
I'm gonna enjoy it. Yeah. It's okay. I can also get myself back into flow. Like I can continue this too. Yeah. Even if I don't feel like it in that moment, guess what? I can make myself feel like it. And I'm gonna have a great time. We're gonna both have a great, and we both take that attitude. Yeah. And it's great. Like, we have a lot of fun.
That's amazing, man. I gotta ask you one more question. Yeah. Finances. Yeah. Do you guys do your finances together? How does it look? Is it like this is my money, this is your money? Like, how do y'all make that come together?
It is great. She's good with money.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Remember, literally the reason I wanted to become an entrepreneur is because I didn't want a budget.
Yeah. That's funny.
So I like to give her all the money. I like to go, okay, how much how much am I gonna have in like discretionary spending probably this month? This much. Okay, I just did a deal. All right, I just made recently $20,000 on a deal. All right, how much? Okay, I have bills. I know I spend about this much a month in just like bills. Okay, this $5,000 will go to all my bills, all my obligations. You know, rent, food, obligations. Okay, $5,000 is probably discretionary. All right, $10,000 is savings. I will literally wire her $10,000. Here's savings. Do like you are really good with it. You're really responsible. If we ever borrow from it, she's so good about tracking and paying. If I have an account, a savings account and checking account, they're both accounts.
Yeah.
They don't, I got money.
Yeah, exactly.
If I see an opportunity or something, I'm going to spend it.
Mm-hmm.
So now should I be better with that? Maybe. Or I married somebody who's really good at tracking that. So I know, hey, I'm, I have this much discretionary. I have this much, in bills. And if I'm upset with that, I know how to solve that problem.
Yeah.
That means I'm not working hard enough. So if I'm like, oh man, I only have 5,000 discretionary, I would rather have 50,000 discretionary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. That's really good. That's really good news.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to solve a $50,000 problem, and that's actually great.
Yeah.
Here's the hard part. I've become lately after my baby, I've become comfortable with that. Oh, 5,000 discretionary. That's cool. Like I don't need more than that. Like I'm good. I'm coasting.
Mm-hmm.
So part of, there's which is good. Had a new baby where I'm more relaxed, but I've been getting that itch to make more money, step it up, buy bigger things.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of, now I'm actually reorganizing a lot of my life to have another season of hustle.
And man, if we had time, we would have jumped into that. And I wanted to touch on that real quick because a lot of men, they have a way about their wife having or even knowing how much money they make. Right? I have this conversation a lot with different men, and of course there are different opinions, but what I don't hear a lot of is couples doing finances together or being able to see each other's finances and how money is distributed. And it's just not something they do, especially 9-to-5ers, where money goes into her bank, money comes into my bank. I pay these bills, she pays that bills. And I'm just like, dude, I think it's so, I have my own opinion on it. I think it's silly, honestly.
Yeah.
I like, why not just find a system to bring the money together?
Oh yeah.
Because if you ever lose, if your wife ever needs money, where's she going to get it from? From you.
Yeah.
Right? If you need money, where are you going to get it from? From her.
Oh yeah.
Why not just figure out a system for everyone to know how much money the family has and you divvy it up? And so, but man, thank you so much for being on the Mancave Talk, bro. Yeah. This has been amazing. Awesome. We have so much. I feel like we haven't scratched the surface.
We really haven't.
And we've had great conversation.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you being here, brother. I
appreciate you, and I want to give a shout out to Reese.
Absolutely.
He is the producer for today's podcast. We're at his studio. It's awesome. He set all this up.
Yeah.
So give Reese a follow. REECEBYOB on Instagram. Reese is awesome. Give him a follow.
Amazing. And if you need a business coach, you need somebody to help you scale your business, make sure you hit up Reese. Where could people find you? You're doing deals. Like, tell them how they could find you.
Oh, just on Instagram as well. Munif Saza. It's MUNIFSAZA. Is this going to be on YouTube?
It's going to be on YouTube.
Okay, so you can put our handles in the...
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, their handles are going to be in the description. So, man, thank you guys. Another episode of the Mancave Talk, where we just get together, talk about life, business, marriage, and so much more. So stay tuned. See you guys in the next episode.
Nice.